Welcome back, everybody. Dren 608, doing my mini series here on setting up for the Vietnam. I call it the main campaign, but it's really called the Battle for Vietnam. It's the whole war from 1965 to 1975. We had done part of the interphase last time. I was having trouble switching over to get into the NLF side and things like that, so I dropped out of that. Messed around with it, found out what I had to do is I went back into that vlog, played through it all, saved the game after switching myself to referee, saved it out as something called as ref, as you can see up here, and then had to basically close down the game, reload it using this save file, and then it allowed me to actually see everything. You can see I can actually see the NLF stuff here. The VC NLF offensive thing. We'll be going into there for effectiveness here in a minute, and so on and so forth, and all the charts and everything. I can actually get to everything now. So we're going to, oops, not file. What's wrong with me? There we go. So this was me resetting his loyalty to 10 like it should have been. Yeah, an incorrect loyalty number assigned. Correct it now. And I found a way to make the referee player work. Switch to that player. Save the game, then close the game, and reload the saved game. So just something to, oh, I'm doing some kind of, oh yeah, I think that was me switching him. I don't know what else I'm doing. I'm doing things, and I don't know what. I'm doing things not on the map, so I'm trying to figure out what chart am I in. Oh, nope, not there. This one? I'm not sure what I'm doing. So I was playing around with things. I think I was playing around here with some of this, maybe. I'm not sure what I was doing on that one. Oh, Lord. What am I doing? Am I on the main thing? Things are bad in Southland and are going to get worse for several seasons. This player has a hard decision here on the first season. Slower build-up to try and compensate for the political situation. Now, I could try to go, with 30 or 35 points and get an extra division in. First video comment says you cannot withdraw points and or units in this interface. That was the whole point of building the way I did. The idea was you withdraw those, like these terrible divisions here, like this guy. You would withdraw the 25th Division's Armored Cavalry and the 23rd, and I don't think anybody else is really all that bad. But you would withdraw these two Armored Cavalry in the old version of the game. You could withdraw those two guys' Armored Cavalry, then you would build back their regiments. When they withdraw, there's nothing on the board. These come off, and then you would put them back on with by building regiments in those same places, and then you would get to pull a new leader, and hopefully you would get one that's not -2 or -1. Of course, with my luck, I'd probably roll a -4 and a -3, but because I have a lot of the positive leaders out here. But it would give you a chance to get a leader in here that would maybe have a higher loyalty and stuff like that. You might even take the chance to drop off the 21st Division first and pull a new leader, and then hopefully when you pull something out here, like on the 23rd, you would get the A6 in there. And shenanigans like that. They took the shenanigans away from us. So we can't do that. Used to also overcommit here. You would commit 8 instead of 15. When you committed 10, you could actually commit like 12. because you would withdraw the 3 divisions before you would actually expend this, and you would have the commitment room. They took away that shenanigan too. So ultimately, it worked out proper. I didn't overcommit or anything, but still, it's like it took away one of our shenanigans, which I kind of like that they took it away from us. It would have changed how I build. If I'd have read that paragraph earlier, I would not have built those armored cavalry guys in those cities. I would have put down regiments. I would have still built those armored cavalry, but they would have gone out in other regular towns. And then I probably wouldn't have built 5 rangers. I would have only built like 2. So I could have gotten all those divisions, regiments out into the various places where I put the armored cavalry and stuff. So, there is that. I could have built better. So if you're doing this yourself for the first time, the shenanigans thing won't work. Might as well just build the regiments, where you want them to be, and hopefully you don't pull ridiculously bad leaders like I did for I-Corps. All right, so onwards. So we're going to try 25 commitment first for the U.S. Okay. So. So I'm going to give 5 supplies to South Vietnamese, which is going to give them 35 supplies. 4 more brings in the rest of the 3rd Marine Division, 3 for their 3 battalions, and 1 for the division headquarters. The parade headquarters comes free, and then there's like an armored cavalry for the 3rd Marine Division. Where is it? It's here. Like the 3rd Marine Division also has an armored cavalry that'll come along with that divisional headquarters. Okay. Like I said, normally I wouldn't bother, but the coup and likely more coups to follow. So 2 points for economic aid. This is where I made a mistake. I took off another 8 here. This should not be. I'd already taken the 8 off because I was at 69 before. So this really should be at 61. So that was a mistake on my part. 2 points for economic aid. And then 9 points to bring in the 1st Marine Division. Entire. I brought in the Marine Division because I really can't afford to bring in... you don't want to bring in air cavalry divisions until you can get your air mobile points up, because they will take... When they take air mobile losses, if they don't have... right? If they don't have air mobile points available, if you lose these 2 that you have out here, you will start taking morale point losses. So you want to get your air mobile points up to around, I don't know, 10 or so before you have in things like the 101st and the 1st Air Cavalry. When they come in, you also have to bring in some air mobile points to allow for losses. So I'm not going to have a lot of air mobile points on this build. So I brought in the 1st Marine Division. They have good... where's the 1st Marines? They have good headquarters. They have 8 strength headquarters. Your air cavs are... Their battalions have 9 strength headquarters. So they're better. And then the 101st is something similar to that. They have 9-point brigades. So that's one of the reasons why you want to try and bring in the 101st and the 1st Cav, is because their brigade headquarters are like 9s. Whereas like the 1st Division's brigades are like 7s and 6s. Same thing with the 9th, 5s. The 4th is 5s. Where's the other one? There's another division that's actually halfway good. 25th? That 25th has a couple of 7s. I think the 1st might have 2 7s. I'm not sure. But, it's one of the reasons why the 101st and the 1st Air Cav, they come in, and they tend to never leave, at least not when I'm playing the Allies. 1, they're very mobile, and 2, they've got 9 strength headquarters, so they tend to be in the war until final withdrawal, which is also ahistorical, but they're just that good. And of course the 23rd, which which I showed you earlier, I think. Where's the 23rd? Where's the 23rd? There it is. 23rd is ridiculous in that it's got its individual brigade headquarters are only 5s there, but they've got that big like their divisional headquarters and stuff. They're really, really good. But so anyway, I should just keep right on going here. 5 for U.S. replacements because they're probably going to be doing most of the fighting here. And so I went ahead and got them up to 15. So that's 25 commitment. So I went ahead and put them up, added 15 to the 3, so we're up to 18 U.S. replacement points. I moved their supply up to 40. They'll be spending it right away. And this is die roll for the first economic aid. It's a D6 divided by 2, round down. Roll to 1. Round down is a 0. Second one, roll to 3. 3 divided by 2 is a 1. So I got 1 morale extra. And why did I add 4? All right, this should be at 62. All right, so now I'm bringing the guys in from the replacement pool here. And I went ahead and I think I dropped them all down here because there's lots of BC units right here. I can't compensate for all the places that they're going to be, but I had to try and do something. So I put, basically the rest of the 3rd Marine Division went there. Then I brought out the entire 1st Marine Division and then started placing them. Pretty much in Saigon and Mytho and, which I'm probably pronouncing terribly, and Kantho. So Kantho, Matho, and Saigon is where I put the 1st Marine Division to try it. Saigon because you got to hold it. I mean, 3rd Marine goes to establishing 1st Corps. The 1st Marine will deploy in 4th Corps and hold Saigon. So that is the U.S. deployment now for the Arvin. 9 regiments is 9 personnel and 18 supply, putting down regiments in all the reinforcement hexes. Basically, the regiments that I had, like here, you can see this is the 22nd Division. Anywhere where there's a, where's the units? Anywhere where there was an anchor that I had those armored cavalries in, I put down a regiment of that same division because that's what it should have been built. And then those armored cavalry should be like out in the countryside someplace just trying to hold on to towns. At least make the BC, roll dice. So moved it down to 22. And I moved this up by 9. And then you just see me go around dropping divisions. What am I doing? I'm not sure why it's not moving around on the map. Yes, and I also built an extra regiment in Da Nang as the Marines will be operating, so I wanted to have somebody there. So I put another 1st Division guy in there. So now I'm gaming the system. I'm trying to make 1st Division effective, so I'm placing his headquarters in Saigon to go with the Chief of Staff. That's 3 supply and 1 personnel. So you'll see my supplies going down there. And I'm going to do the same thing with the 5th Division to try and make it effective as well. So I'll have some effective ARVN units in I-Corps if things work. That leaves me 14 supply. So at this point, not sure what I'm doing. I was trying to just kind of doing this piecemeal to make sure that I got my counts right. I didn't trust my math. And then I also pulled 2 more corps, or 2 more regiments, and dropped them out here. I couldn't put them there. I had to put 1 there and 1 there in anchor cities, because I wanted to have more than just a garrison here. I wanted to have a unit that might actually be able to move out and contest some of these clear terrain spaces, trying to deny them. 16 replenishments in one of the 5th, 9th, and 18th regiments as they have chances of being effective. And that's based on this here. The 9th has a 7. The 18th is a 3. And the 5th, because I did the shenanigans, and it is a 4. So they all have a chance here of being effective. Okay? So on to the NLF. So here we go. So the NLF, basically I wrote over there that they had 69 points. I'm not sure, but according to the sequence of play, the rules of pre-allocation of NVA commitment to the trail of following works. 64 trail supply and 7 sea supply as the... Huh? 5 from New US commitment, 5 from my morale. I send 10 and 2 as I should have 15 total. 5 from this season, and we'll get at least 10 before recruitment phase in the next interphase. So I don't know why I said 7. That was supposed to have been 5. So sea supply this turn. So 15 supplies and 5 personnel for 15 replacements. Is open knowledge to the US player? I don't know. I will put the marker out there for the video purposes, but I do not know if this is actually supposed to be open knowledge to the allied player. If it's not, it makes it very, very important that the VC track their replacement points somewhere to make sure that they aren't cheating. So it doesn't really state in the rulebook. It does say all of your reinforcements are supposed to be secret. This is part of reinforcements. Are these things supposed to be secret? I don't know how many NVA replacements or VC replacements they actually have. All I can do is track how many I take out and hope that we can prove to me that that's what they actually bought when we check records at the end of the game. If you're playing with somebody that you don't want to play this game with somebody you don't trust. If you got somebody who has a penchant to cheat, this is not a game for you because this is way too long to have somebody cheating. Someone making a mistake, by a point or so, okay, that's a mistake where they just didn't count right. But you can actually just like put the VC replacements out here and say, okay, I've just taken 22 replacements. Do you still have, and they just look at how many replacements they have and they're like, yep, I'm fine. And then like you get to 29 or something and they go, I'm going to remove that unit. You don't know now if it was just a matter of them not having any more or if they're just trying to mess with your brain. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know how that's supposed to actually play. But I'm going to go ahead and put the markers out here. So, okay. 10 supply and 4 personnel for 1 regiment. It's 3 battalions at 3 personnel and 6 supply. Okay, and then 1 personnel and 4 supply to finish the regiment. And the rules specifically state that if you're going to build a regiment right away, you don't actually have to place the 3 battalions and then take them off. Just as long as you have 3 battalions in your force pool, you're able to say you placed them in a hex and then place the battalion. Now that's going to be very hard to do inside South Vietnam, because you usually don't control anything that has that many supply points, 10 supply points worth of population, unless maybe you're dropping a supply conduit in some place where you have 5, and then you can build a regiment. I just like to build at least one regiment and put it somewhere inside of like Laos or Cambodia, and then just have it move like it's any old other information with the other battalions that's with it. And then when they come and attack, and they attack that one, it's like a nasty surprise for the Western, for the U.S. player. Okay. And then 22 personnel and 44 supply, which is what I have left for 22 more battalions. Okay. And also the 4 political sections you get every interface. So now I'm just going to start putting things down. Okay. So you just see me drop. I put the regiment up there, and I'm just going to start dropping things in Laos and Cambodia, because that's, for me, is the place to set things up and put down my political sections, just kind of float them around. And I had to raise up his draft level, and so all the counters are placed. VC draft is at 76, all supply used. Is this the best setup? Probably not, but it is a setup. Okay. Oh, I had some extra. I had extra things here. I was trying to move that. I finally got rid of the extra available points counter. Operating points, and I got rid of some extra things. I wanted to have able to grab those counters without too much trouble. So we go to the infiltration segment. There's nothing to do. So now the next is the effectiveness die roll, and you do that here. There's an effectiveness die roll. If you have everything assigned correctly, it will work. Okay. All the division headquarters assigned to the leaders display correctly. It helps designate all the right units as ineffective. The other thing you have to do, which I totally missed, so I did check out those things. Saigons have become COS affiliated. Rest should all be designated correctly. So you see I changed those guys to Chief of Staff. Okay. Do the leader display to use automation. And then, now you rolled a 1, but because there was a coup, you had to add 2. Okay, so that's why it's actually a 3. Yeah, it doesn't tell you what the modification was, but it's because there was a coup. You're supposed to add 2 if there's a coup. If you're unstable, you add 1. So my effectiveness die roll is a 3. So you'll see this guy here in I Corps, because he's a -3, anybody in first corps is just basically going to be ineffective. This guy was ineffective because of his die roll down here, but all their other divisions are effective. So the Marines, the Airborne, 9th, 18th, 5th, and 1st and 2nd divisions can all do stuff in this season. Okay? So 2 is added because of the status of the coup. The leader display, make sure this is representing the proper state before you roll. And now here, just put an effective box around the division notations at the top of the division leaders and around the core counter, so affected I Corps, for instance. I forgot to do something when setting up the independent battalions. They need to be assigned to the corps they are stationed in. I yell about that. I will correct that now. So I think I'm just going to be bouncing around here, setting up a whole bunch of, and mark the ones that should be ineffective. It doesn't translate when you switch them. Next time those will be corrected, and we will show a few operations. After that, we will do the fall of 1965 interphase, show the automation of the pacification phase. So, I think I end. I don't know if I keep doing this. Do I keep doing this? Yeah. So this is me just doing all that. Okay. So that's the end of the log file. Start a new one. No, we don't need to start a new one. So now you can see I have all the battalions, all these independent guys that were ineffective because 4 Corps was ineffective. and the ones in 3rd Corps are fine, and I think there's a couple in 1st Corps, I Corps here. There's a couple guys in I Corps that are ineffective because they're independent. And these guys, this division was independent because I didn't play shenanigans with that division. But he's effective, and I have like the ability to move some of these guys out, and maybe move some Marines into way, and so forth. So it'll be shenanigans all around for all of us. And then you got to remember that when I'm moving into these hexes, it's going to be +2 because of the Rangers. So moving into that hex there on the road is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's when you move in. I can't remember if it's you move in or you move out. I can't remember which way it is. I think it's you move in. I'll double check the rules on that. All right. So anyway, there you have it. The interface is done. Next time up, we will try and do, I will have a vlog with, I'll do a bunch of VC strategic moves. Then I'll do a couple of Western Allied operations. For the U.S. player. And then after I show you some operations things, I will probably close down that vlog. I will finish out trying to get into it, like what would be considered a reasonable position at the end of the first year in the conditions that we have. And then we'll go through the pacification phase, which will be a fairly long video because you have to go through each one, check each location for free fire, VC placement. Are they in a city, a town? Did they capture a capital in that place? And all of that kind of stuff. So there'll be a whole bunch of things to have to do. Okay? But next time will be just me. I will show a bunch of VC like strategic movement to get themselves ready to run in the 2nd phase or whatever, and then have the free world allies and the US, I should say, the US and the free world allies. One thing I did forget to do is after I put all these guys down, not that I would have taken them, but there should have been a die roll for the free world allies. I believe the Koreans are available at 50. So if they are, I will probably sort of retcon that and roll those dice. Or I might just roll them next time. I don't think I would have spent the commitment to bring them in anyway here because I would have gone over the 25. And I really want to keep myself at 50 on this first fall interface because it limits the North Vietnamese amount that they bring themselves up. They're going to get 5 from my commitment because it's 20% of whatever I commit. So South Vietnam will get 5, they'll get 5. And yeah, that's the way it would be. Okay. So we're going to save this game as we're going to call this one now Summer of 65, Part 1 as ref. And we'll say start. Summer of 65, Part 1 as ref. Okay? That's what we'll bring up next time. Okay? So that'll be the saved game that we pull up next time. I should have rolled the Free World Allies. Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's in here. No, it's not. But here's the charts, by the way. They have this all nicely put out here so you can kind of look at things. Division leader plus superior. Your roll has to be less than or equal to that. If it's greater, you're effective. Corps, same thing. It's a Corps commander rating +3. In 1st Corps, he's a -3, so even at +3, he's a 0, so he'll never get a 0. And +2 during coup, +1 during instability. You need a 2 through 6 to replace. You remain loyal. he remains, but he's -1 on loyalty, and 9 to 12, it's -1 on loyalty, and all units are. If it's 2-star donor, he becomes Broku. So all that's, summarized there. And then this is -1 in the seasonal interface following an offensive. Faction leaders. We were under 69 no matter what, so we were in this table over here. So, -2 to C's. So that's bad. You want to try and get your morale up here. So at least it's on the normal. You want to get over 70 if it's possible. Don't know if we'll be able to get ourselves shoved up there. Getting your morale over 120 is really nice, but you still can see that you can get -2s on the 2 dice. Okay? So you really want to try and, other than the I-Corps Corps Commander, he's the only one I'd really like to make go away, because I have to play the game with the divisional leaders, leaving them with the Chief of Staff to let divisions and Arvin divisions and I-Corps to be effective, which I know it's gamey, but it's how you have to kind of compensate. It's like if there's an incompetent Corps Commander up here, but you're getting orders from Saigon to operate, so these guys can all actually do things. Okay. All right, so we will start up with the Season 1. Where's my turn? Where's my turn thingy? Where's the turn marker? I don't remember where the turn marker is. It's up here somewhere. Here it is. Turn. So next time we will start with the Season 1 turn. Like I said, I'm just going to show you a bunch of strategic moves with the VC. They'll move out. I will leave a couple of targets down here so I can show you some operations down here in the Delta. The Marines here will move out and try and capture these 2 things in South End and Yangon. Maybe have them try and do an attack here in the swamps to show you how that works. And then maybe the guys in Saigon will move out to, if these guys move in, these guys will probably move out to be, spread out some in the terrain and whatnot. We'll have the VC will move strategically to get into position to try and capture some of these capitals out here, but that's pretty much what it's going to be. They're going to be trying to capture these 6, maybe 7 capitals to try and take down some morale on the US and the Arvin. All right. So if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. You really like to see, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notify bell to be notified to upload videos and scheduled streams. I'm Dren608. Until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.